there, this is Beth from the Sterling Public Library, and welcome to From the Stacks Young Adult Edition. I want to talk to you about a couple of books in our young adult collection. So the first one is this one. It just came out a couple of months ago. It's called The Agathas, and it's by Kathleen, Glasgow, and Liz Lawson. And this is a mystery. I'm going to read you the first line. Alice Ogilvy is crazy. So as I said, this is a mystery, and it's set in a seaside town in California, where one of the girls, there's two main characters, and they're Alice and Iris, and the book is told in alternate points of view. So one of Alice's former friends has disappeared after a party on Halloween, and the cops think maybe she ran away or she's hiding or something because she just had a fight with her boyfriend. But Alice doesn't think so. And Iris, who's been hired to tutor Alice, they're not friends, but they are working together a little bit, is also kind of interested in the case because there's reward money. So Alice recruits Iris to help her, and they decide together to figure out what happened to the girl. The story takes a lot of twists and turns, and there's a lot of actually kind of funny shenanigans. I do want to read you the first line of the author's note at the end. Though The Agathas is, at heart, a fun book about two teen detectives, there are some very serious issues within this book. So, as I said, the mystery is really interesting, and it does take a lot of twists and turns, and there are some very funny and interesting parts to it. But probably the thing I liked about it the most was the friendship the reluctant friendship that grows between Iris and Alice. As I said, they're not friends at the beginning, and working through all of this, they actually do become friends, and that's a really kind of a cool story. Anyway, this was really good. I love the characters and the mystery. The other book I want to talk to you about is this one. It's a little bit older. I think it came out last year. It's called The Midnight Girls, and it's by Alicia, Jasinska, and I probably mispronounced that, so I'm sorry. It is fantasy, and I will read you the first line. The first time the witch asked Marinka to bring her a heart, she was 12 years old. So this is kind of an enemies to lovers witchy book, and I thought it might be good for October. So it takes place sort of in an alternate Poland from a couple hundred years ago. So in this area, there are 3 evil witches, and they each have an apprentice, and the way that the witches get their power is they eat the hearts of princes, but they can't touch the princes because they're just too evil. So they all have an apprentice who goes out and gets the hearts for them. So Marinka has, for years, because by the time this starts, she's close to 18, I believe. For years, she's gone out to get hearts. Well, she also knows that one of the other apprentices from one of the other witches often beats her, and so is her rival. And she's never actually seen the other apprentice, but she knows they're the rival. Well, as it turns out, there's a special prince that's going to be coming to this winter carnival in the capital city, and so Marinka is sent there to basically steal the heart of this prince. Well, along the way, she meets Zozia, and Zozia very much intrigues her and captures her interest. And then, of course, later she finds out that Zozia is, in fact, the other apprentice who is her rival. And so the two girls spend the next several days trying to each grab the prince and at the same time keep the prince away from their rival. Well, as I said before, it is sort of an enemies to lovers, and they end up having a relationship with each other. And it's a really interesting story because the main characters are sort of the bad guys, but you end up really learning more about the inside of what's going on in their lives and what they feel. And it's just a really interesting story. I thought the premise was very cool. And the setting is creepy and dark and wintry and October-y. So if you'd like a kind of a fun October read, this one might be fun to read. Anyway, there you go with that one. Okay, that's all I have for you today, and I will see you next time.